museum closed at 9 p.m. By 9:07, the last visitors were gone, the doors were locked, and the building became what it truly was when nobody was watching. A giant, silent throat swallowing light. I should know, I worked there. Not as a curator, not as security, not even as one of the important staff members who wore badges with their names in bold letters and spoke in careful voices. I was a night cleaner, the kind of person people look through, the kind of person who can walk past a priceless artifact holding a mop bucket and not be questioned. That's how I got close to the Forbidden Wing, and that's why, when I say I entered it, I need you to understand something. It wasn't bravery, it wasn't curiosity, it was the feeling that the building had been calling my name for weeks. The first whisper, the first time I heard it, I was alone in the Egyptian exhibit. The lights were dimmed, and the air always felt colder there, like the stone statues pulled warmth out of the room. I was wiping fingerprints off a glass case when I heard it. A whisper, soft, faint, like someone behind me saying my name with their lips barely open. Eli. I froze. The museum was empty. I'd watched the cameras. I'd watched the guards lock the main doors. Still, I turned slowly, expecting to see someone. Nothing. Just rows of artifacts staring back at me with blank, ancient eyes. I told myself it was stress. The building was old. Pipes groaned. Floorboards creaked. Air vents sighed. That's what I told myself. But the whisper came again, clearer this time. Eli, come closer. I dropped the cloth. My stomach tightened like a fist. The voice wasn't coming from the room I was in. It was coming from somewhere deeper. Somewhere the museum didn't show to the public. Every museum has areas visitors aren't allowed to see. Storage rooms, maintenance tunnels, archives. But ours had something else. A hallway sealed behind a heavy metal door with a keypad lock. A black sign with white letters. Forbidden Wing, authorized personnel only. And below that, written in smaller text that looked almost newer, like it had been added recently. Do not enter after dark. No one ever talked about it. Not the guards, not the managers, not even the oldest employees who loved telling stories about how the museum used to be a mansion or how a fire once damaged the West Side decades ago. If you asked, you got the same answer every time. That area is under renovation. But I'd worked there long enough to know what renovation looks like. Renovation has plastic sheets and ladders and paint. That door never changed. It stayed shut. And every night when the museum got quiet enough, I could swear the hallway behind it wasn't silent. It was breathing, not like a person, like a room full of people trying not to be heard. The exhibit that wasn't on the map one night, while dumping trash near the staff elevators, I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. The museum director, Dr. Harrow, was standing by the forbidden door with two other people. One was a tall man in a suit holding a briefcase. The other was a woman wearing white gloves and a medical mask, even though we weren't in a hospital. Dr. Harrow typed the code in quickly, like his fingers had memorized it. The door unlocked with a deep metallic click, and for half a second before they stepped inside, I saw the hallway beyond. The lights were on, but they flickered like a dying heartbeat. And the walls looked wrong. Not cracked, not dirty, wrong. Like they were wet, like the paint was moving. I blinked hard, and then the door shut. I stood there, trash bag in my hand, feeling my skin crawl. A minute later, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. One message. Don't ask questions. I stared at it until my screen went dark. I didn't reply. I didn't tell anyone. But that night, when I cleaned the hallway outside the Forbidden Wing, I heard it again. A whisper. Soft and close, right against the metal door. Eli, please. I stepped back so fast I almost slipped. Because the voice didn't sound like a stranger, it sounded like my sister. My sister's voice. My sister Mara died 3 years ago. Car accident. Rainy night. Wrong place. Wrong time. I still remembered the phone call, the way my mother's voice cracked when she said it, the way the world went quiet like it was holding its breath. So when I heard Mara whispering behind that door, my brain refused to accept it. But my heart did. Because grief doesn't care about logic. Grief doesn't care about reality. It only cares about hope. I walked closer. My fingers hovered near the keypad. I didn't know the code. I never had. But as I stared at the numbers, my hands began to tremble, and the whisper came again. Eli, it's cold in here. My throat tightened. I leaned in, pressing my ear close to the door.
Mara?
I whispered back, my voice barely there. For a moment, there was silence. Then, a soft, wet exhale, and a new voice, deeper, layered bending. Beneath hers like something wearing her sound. Open it! I stumbled back, heart hammering. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. You heard that too! I stared at the message. Someone else had heard it. Someone else knew. And for the first time, I realized the Forbidden Wing wasn't just a place the museum wanted hidden. It was a secret the building was keeping alive. The night I couldn't ignore it, for the next week I tried to avoid that hallway. I worked faster. I took longer breaks. I stayed where the guards could see me. But no matter where I went, I could feel it. Like the museum was watching. Like it knew I was resisting. Then on a Thursday night, the power flickered. Not fully out, just a stutter. Lights dimmed, brightened, dimmed again. The air grew colder. The security cameras all froze for exactly 6 seconds. I remember because the guard on duty, Tom, swore under his breath and tapped the monitor. Stupid system, he muttered. But I saw it. In those frozen frames, every camera feed had the same thing. A dark smear across the corner of the image. Like something had leaned in too close to the lens. And then the feeds resumed. Normal, clean, like it had never happened. Tom didn't notice. Or maybe he pretended not to. He glanced at me and forced a smile. Go finish your rounds, Eli. I should have said no. I should have clocked out and gone home. But as I pushed my cart down the hall, the lights above me flickered again. And I heard a sound that made my blood turn to ice. A soft knock from inside the Forbidden Wing door. 3 taps, slow, deliberate, like someone counting. Then the whisper. Not Mara this time, my own voice. Eli? I stopped breathing, because I hadn't spoken. I hadn't even swallowed. And yet there it was. My voice from behind the metal door, calling me like it knew exactly what sound would make me turn. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Tonight. The code that appeared. I stood in front of the keypad, my fingers shaking. The whisper came again. Eli, you're already here. I didn't know what to do. I felt trapped in the hallway, the museum stretching behind me like a dark ocean. Then the keypad lit up on its own. Not the usual blue glow. Red. And on the screen, numbers appeared one by one, as if invisible fingers were typing. 1, 9, 3, 1. The door clicked, unlocked. I stared at it. My entire body screamed to run, but my hand moved anyway, because grief is a leash and curiosity is a hook. I pulled the door open. Inside the Forbidden Wing, the air hit me like a freezer, not just cold, dead. The hallway beyond was narrow, painted a dull white that should have looked clean, but the walls had a strange texture, like the paint was layered too thick, like someone had covered something underneath. The lights overhead flickered, buzzing softly, and the whispers. They weren't coming from one place, they were everywhere. Inside the walls, inside the ceiling, inside the floor. 100 voices murmuring at once, too soft to understand, like a crowd praying. I stepped inside. The door shut behind me with a heavy metallic clang. I spun around, reaching for the handle. Locked. Of course it was. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Don't turn back. I swallowed hard and forced myself to keep walking. The hallway ended at another door. This one wooden, old, and carved into it was a symbol I didn't recognize. A circle with lines branching out like veins. The whispers grew louder as I approached. And then I heard one clear sentence, spoken right into my ear like someone standing behind me. It's hungry. I whipped around. Nothing. But the air behind me felt warmer, wet, like breath. I forced myself to face the door again. My hand reached out. The wood felt soft. Not rotten, soft, like skin. I pulled it open. The exhibit. The room beyond was huge, bigger than it should have been, like the museum had folded space to hide it. In the center of the room stood a glass display case. Inside it was something covered by a black cloth. The cloth moved slightly, like it was rising and falling, like breathing. Around the walls were paintings and artifacts, all facing inward, like they were watching the case. But the strangest part was the walls themselves. They were covered in writing, scratched into the paint with fingernails. Words layered over words, some in English, some in languages I didn't know. But one phrase repeated again and again, carved so deep it had gouged the wall. Don't let it see you move. My heart pounded. I took a step back. The whispers surged like they were excited. Then from the display case, a sound came through the cloth, a soft, shaky sob, crying. My breath caught, because it was Mara, not just her voice, her crying, the exact sound she made when she was little and scared of thunderstorms. My knees nearly buckled. Mara, I whispered. The cloth shifted again, and her voice came out, trembling. Eli, please. I'm stuck. I stepped closer without thinking. The glass case fogged from the inside, a handprint pressed against it, small, like hers. My fingers touched the glass. It was warm, alive. Mara, I'm here, I whispered, tears burning my eyes. I'm here, okay? Her voice became a whisper, so close it felt like it was inside my skull. Don't open it. I froze. What? I breathed. Don't, she sobbed. Don't open it, Eli. It's not me. The cloth lifted slightly, like something underneath was pushing it up, and beneath the edge I saw skin, pale but too smooth, like wax. My phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Open it. I backed away, shaking my head. No, no, no. The whispers turned angry. The lights flickered violently. The room trembled, and then the cloth dropped completely, not falling, being pulled. And what was inside the case looked up at me. It had a face. It was Mara's face, but stretched wrong. The eyes were too wide, too shiny. The smile was too practiced, like a spider learning how to be a person. It pressed its hands against the glass. Too many fingers, too many joints, and it whispered in her voice, "Thank you for coming so close." The glass opened by itself. I stumbled backward, choking on panic. The case clicked, a lock turning, but I hadn't touched it. The glass door swung open slowly, like someone politely inviting me in. The thing inside didn't move at first, it just watched me, breathing, slow, wet, dragging air into lungs that didn't belong to it. Then it crawled out, not standing, crawling, limbs bending wrong, hands planting on the floor like a creature trying to remember how humans walk. I turned to run. I swear I did. But the exit door slammed shut. The walls trembled, and the air filled with breathing, not mine, not one thing, dozens of breaths, hundreds, like the entire room had lungs. My phone slipped from my hand and hit the floor, still recording. I tried to scream, but the sound died in my throat as the whispers rose into one voice, a choir, a hungry prayer. And the last thing my phone captured was my shadow on the wall, being pulled backward, not by hands, by darkness itself, like the room had finally decided to swallow. The next morning, my mom found my room empty. No blood, no struggle, no broken furniture, just my phone on the floor, still recording, still playing the same voice note on repeat. Mara crying and whispering, "Don't let it see you move." She called the police. They searched the house. They searched the neighborhood. They checked the museum. They asked questions. They got nothing, because the museum director said I never came to work that night. The security cameras showed me leaving at 9:02 p.m., walking out the front door like everything was normal, smiling, waving at the guard. But my mom swears that wasn't me, because when she watched the footage, she noticed something no one else did. My reflection in the glass doors didn't match my movements. It lagged behind, like it was learning, like it was practicing. The final message that night, my mom couldn't sleep. She sat in the living room holding my phone, replaying the voice note until her hands shook. Then the screen lit up. Unknown number. One message. "Thank you for opening it." Her breath caught. She tried to throw the phone, but it buzzed again. Another message. "He's with us now." And then a final message, so simple it made her stomach drop. "Listen." The voice note started playing again. Mara crying, Mara whispering, but this time, behind her voice was another sound. A new voice. Mine, soft, shaky, trying not to be heard. "Mom, don't let it see you move." And from down the hallway, from the direction of my old bedroom, the walls began to whisper back.
If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.